1987.
1987, I drove here for Mercedes-Benz in the car sponsored by Kuros. Kuros was a YSL brand. I think it's still there. It's a YSL men's fragrance line, and really had a lot of fun. We're running in the top 5 of the race until about 4 or 5 in the morning, and we had a little problem. But had a great time, and it really whet my appetite about coming back here with a proper team and a proper effort to do well. That's what we did a year ago, and it turned into a win for us, and so it's very, very exciting. There, as everybody knows, in racing today, there is a lot of technology and computers and engineers, and but you still have to have somebody that's, you still have to have that person that you look to, or that person that sort of, there's one person on the team that pulls it all together. And I'd like to think that in some small way that person's me. On the team, I mean, obviously we are the race team, so somebody has to, be that sort of grout in the tile on the bathroom floor that sort of pulls everything together.
Yes.
And whether it's the drivers or the engineers, the mechanics, the sanctioning body, the scrutineers, somebody has to pull all that together.
You seem a very...
I think when you've been around it a long time, and when you've been around a long time, it has a calming effect on things. I think when you're prepared, you're sort of calm. I think we're well prepared as anybody, and so I find a certain sense of security in that probably brings, reflects as being calm. I think, and in actual fact, by me being something other than calm, I don't want to put that on the team. I want the team to be calm. If they see me agitated or mad, they're going to be that way. They need to see the guy in charge secure and calm. And that's what we are. I mean, the big challenge is, I think everybody here, they did a study about a year and a half ago, and something like 70% of the fans in attendance were here to see the GT cars race, because the GT cars are more like what we drive on a daily basis. The prototype cars are very fast, but people have a hard time relating, I think, to the GT cars. But when they see a Ford out there, or they see a Porsche or a Ferrari, they can connect that with their daily life. And maybe they don't have a Ferrari or a Ford GT, but they understand what racing is about, and they understand a rivalry maybe. And you have a lot of rivalry, a lot of history. Ford, Ferrari, Porsche, Corvette, Aston Martin. All these, there's a lot of rivalry, built up over many, many years and decades, really.
The Ford GT, talk about the buying concept. I think it's phenomenal. When I heard it this morning, I'm like, what the hell?
It's a great story, and at first they said that they're only going to make 200 cars, and I just assumed it was sort of a first come first serve base, and they said no, you have to fill out a form to buy a car. You have to fill out a form, and you're actually chosen by this sort of resume you have to put together, and you're chosen whether you're allowed to buy or not. And at first I was a little adverse to it, but I think as it's worked out, I see the reason for it, and I think it's worked out very well for Ford. It's sort of, I think it's raised the brand quite a bit, and I think Ford's very happy with it so far.
I sat in it this morning. It certainly empowered me. Do you have one?
Yes. Just got one about a month ago, and really enjoyed driving it. I've only got 100 miles or so on it, but
what is so special about it to you?
Well, for me, it's something different. It represents obviously the win here a year ago. It represents a lot of hard work, and it's a history marker within our team and within the world of motorsport. It's a history marker as well. We came here last year and won the race 50 years to the day that Ford beat Ferrari in 1966. So it's quite a feather in our cap was to come back, our team's first time here, and then of course we won the race, and we again second place went to Ferrari. So it was a lot of history there, a lot of emotion, and really something special.
Why?
There are a few female drivers that are quite good,
Yeah.
and coming up through the sport in different forms or fashions. I think I think it's a great place for women to be involved.
Yeah.
I think I think most importantly, I think we need to get back to the to me the automobile is something that was involved in many young men's lives when it came to young men meeting young women. The car was such a part of that, and the automobile was such a connection point. And driving down the Pacific Coast Highway in your convertible with your date, and the automobile was such, for me personally, it was such a
Pulling.
yeah, right. It was a connection point really with you and a woman, and I think we've gotten away from that a little bit. We've taken the car and we've turned it into a commodity, and it's a point A to point B kind of thing, and I think there's a reason for that, and and I think that's okay.